This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. And welcome to a very personal Top 5 Tuesday. You know what happens on the channel. Every Tuesday I do some kind of Top 5 list. And a couple of weeks ago on the live stream, every Friday, 5 PM UK time, come and join us, it's fun. Basically, a couple of weeks ago, somebody in the chat on the live stream said, why don't you do a top 5 list of your 5 favourite guitars? And, you know, I thought, well, usually most years in January or February, I do like a kind of these are the guitars that are sort of in the room at the moment, and let's talk about them. So I thought it was a good idea to sort of combine them. These are the guitars that I reach for on a regular basis as part of my working day as a musician and guitar tutor. So before we talk about which ones they are, this one you probably guessed figures in the mix somehow or other. Let's have a listen to them all, you know, over a jam track, hear what they sound like. Here it is. And as usual, there is a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing the solo and a jam track to play along with. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. It's only $3 a month or £2.50, and you get access to all of these tabs and jam tracks and other bits and pieces that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, massive thank you to everybody who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below. So this was the first guitar you saw in that little clip there. This is a Telecaster, as you can probably tell. It's a Fender Deluxe Nashville Telecaster. Basically standard sort of Telecaster recipe, noiseless pickups, but unlike most Telecasters, this is a Nashville Telecaster, which means that it has a middle pickup and it's wired like a Strat. All of the positions you would expect on a Strat are there. The only mod I've done to this guitar, and this was quite recently, is that I've put basically a little mini switch in there to do what's often known as the Gilmore mod, where you can get the neck and bridge pickups on together, which, you know, with a 5-way Strat style switch isn't usually possible. So, you know, here's the bridge pickup. Flick the switch, I've got that typical Telecaster country tone, which is, you know, it's beloved of country players the world over, and Jimmy Page as well. He uses that quite a lot. The story behind this guitar is that it was a gift. One of my students, a chap called Joe, lives in America, and we have, you know, a Zoom lesson once a week or thereabouts, and he's a guitar collector, and he basically said he had one of these and it was surplus to requirements, and do you want it? So, you know, after being terribly English about the whole thing, I couldn't possibly, you know, I ended up saying yes. And, you know, because it was going to be so expensive to ship the guitar over to me, Joe just went and ordered me one, a brand new one from Toman. That was a couple of years ago. I've been enjoying the guitar ever since. It's a beautiful guitar. Joe, you are a gentleman. Thank you. I will treasure the guitar forever. Yes, indeed. Blondie. This is my signature guitar. I never ever dreamed I would be uttering a sentence like, this is my signature guitar, but here I am doing it. The story behind this guitar is that during the first lockdown, a chap called Dan got in touch with me, and basically Dan is a master craftsman, a cabinet maker and carpenter, and, you know, basically what he can't do with wood isn't worth doing. And he's also a guitar player. So, you know, when he was sat at home twiddling his thumbs on furlough, he thought, well, why don't I put the woodworking side of my life and the guitar playing side of my life together? And he built a guitar, got in touch with me, and I reviewed it. Beautiful guitar. Then I thought that was the end of it, and a couple of days later, he got in touch and said, would you like me to build you a signature model guitar? So, yeah, what else are you going to say? And this is it. It's got a Sapele body, Sapele neck, bolt-on, buck-matched flame maple, and these pickups are Vanson pickups. Dirt cheap on eBay, but I like them. One of the main reasons I like them is the way they kind of split into single coils. At the moment, I'm on the bridge pickup here. It's split, and, you know, again, I've got a very convincing Telecaster tone, you know. You know, that will pass for a Telecaster any day of the week. Put the pickups back into humbucker mode, back the tone control off a bit, and, you know, I'm getting sort of, you know, quasi Les Paul tone. Neck pickup even better. Then go to the middle position, and on the tone control, just push the tone control, and suddenly I've got, you know, a Peter Green Les Paul. It's a real Swiss Army knife of a guitar. which, you know, is what I need, because I demonstrate and play all kinds of different sort of music in videos and in lessons as well. And just to be able to pick up one guitar and think, well, it doesn't really matter what I'm going to be doing, whether it's blues, country, funk, soul, rock, punk, whatever, I've got a guitar that'll do it. And doesn't it look gorgeous along with it? So that is the John Robson signature guitar. Full disclosure, if you buy one of these, the link is in the description. I do get a small commission, but I paid full price for mine, and you know, I was very happy to. So there you go. Let's move on and see which one's next. Yeah, the Sire Larry Carlton H7. There it is. This is one of my favourite guitars. There's always that novelty factor when you get a new guitar, that the newest one is the favourite one, and I suspect this is, you know, kind of a little bit of that going on with this, but it is a beautiful guitar. It does all of the, you know, the requisite 3-3-5 style tones. Let me just dial it in a little bit. There we go. It's you know, it just sounds, looks and feels like a 3-3-5, and if it's got that chap's name on the headstock, Larry Carlton, then, you know, it's got to be good. And I actually saw, I'll see if I can find it. There's a video of him doing some performance somewhere where he's basically kind of chatting to the audience and stuff, and then he goes into Kid Charlemagne and he's playing one of these. You know, he left the 3-3-5 at home that evening and he's playing one of these, this very colour, in fact. I mean, these Sire guitars, the way I got into them was a little while ago. I was wanting to do a review of some kind of super strat style guitar, and I put up basically a poll and said, let me know, you know, which one of these candidates you want me to get. And I think there was a Harley Benton Fusion, and there was a G&L, and there was this, and there was that, and there was the other. And one of them was one of the other guitars we're going to look at in a moment, the Sire S7 HSS Strat style guitar. And that one won the poll, so I bought it and decided, no, I'm not selling this on to put the money back into the guitar fund. I'm keeping it. And then, of course, you know, the curiosity got the better of me. You know, if you're going to make a 3-3-5 style guitar and you're going to put Larry Carlton's name on it, it better be good. And this is. It's not for me to make, you know, financial recommendations to you, obviously, but I think we've all seen, those of us who have been around a while have seen, you know, certain brands of guitar that are affordable budget guitars come out and blow everybody away. And, you know, stunning quality, fantastically affordable price. And then, you know, over time, the price goes up and the quality starts to slip a little bit. Squire Strats, there's an example. You know, the early Squire Strats from the early 80s, fantastic guitars. By the time you get to 1989, yeah, they're made of plywood, and they're not that, you know, they're not particular. Well, they're not of the same quality. So the early ones became sought after. Yeah, I'm hanging on to this guitar in case the same thing happens with these Sire Larry Carlton models. This is a beautiful guitar, and if you are in the market for, you know, I'm not going to say a cheap, because these are 500 quid or thereabouts, but if you're in the market for, you know, that sort of mid-price, you know, mid-hundreds semi-acoustic style guitar, you could do a lot worse than one of these. So, let's see what's next. Yes, the aforementioned Larry Carlton S7. This is the guitar that's got me back into Strats again. You know, before I reviewed this one, I reviewed a Mexican Player Series Strat. It's a lovely guitar. I think I said at the time that if you're into Strats, then that you couldn't want any more out of a Strat than that guitar will give you. And I stand by that. It's just that at the time, when I reviewed it, I wasn't really into Strats. I thought, yeah, it's a Strat. I'm not really into Strats, which is why I sold it. And then this one won that poll where I was asking you which you know, super Strat to try out. And boy, this is this feels like a custom shop instrument. This was £430, and you get a roasted maple neck and fretboard. You get abalone inlays. You get a beautiful, rolled edges on the fretboard. This feels like you're picking up a £2,000 guitar when you're playing this. Locking tuners. It's just everything that a boutique guitar should be, without the boutique price tag. I don't play Strats that often, but when I do, if I want something basically with a trem, if I'm kind of getting me Gilmore thing on or me Hank Marvin vibe, then this is, what I will pick up. It's just such a high-spec guitar, and as I say, these Sires, I'm not parting with this in case, they go the same way as the Squires, where the quality started off great, and then, by the time that they've been in production a few years, I mean, Squires are great now, don't get me wrong, but there was a time when, they've ebbed and flowed over the years in terms of quality. And this is just, as I say, it's 430 quid, and it feels like, a £2,000 guitar, so this one ain't going anywhere. And I guess that takes us to the final guitar that you heard in the solo. Let's go and grab it. Yeah, it's a real good workhorse guitar, this, the Yamaha Pacifica 311H. I had a Pacifica 112 that I basically modded to something similar to this spec, and then got offered, a good price for it, so I sold it. I was a little bit short on funds, financially embarrassed at the time, so it came in handy. But this one's going nowhere. These 311Hs are just, I think of it as like sort of a bionic Telecaster, really. I know it's not Telecaster shaped, but you've got, fixed bridge, 25.5-inch scale length, and, nice big fat single coil in the neck position, which I always think there is a nice fatness to a Telecaster neck pickup. And a P90 is kind of like that on steroids, really. And, let's just dial it in a bit. You can easily imagine it doing, a certain Queen solo that's famous for using a Telecaster neck pickup. I won't play any more than that because, copyright and everything. The bridge pickup, when you pull the tone control out, just becomes a single coil, and again, very kind of Telecaster-ish, not as much as my signature guitar or the but it's got enough of that vibe about it. And then in the middle position, especially with the bridge in single coil mode, it's a beautiful sort of soulful kind of, kind of clean sound, warm vintage. Warm vintage clean sound that just seems to complement whatever situation, whatever tune, whatever track I put it into. One criticism people have of these is that the bridge humbucker is a little bit underpowered, which for me is a positive thing. I like a slightly kind of vintage output humbucker. It really kind of grinds me a little bit when I get a humbucker that the moment I plug it into an amp, even on a clean channel, it's starting to clip. So the fact that it's got a vintage output humbucker and it's got a fixed bridge and just, tortoiseshell pickguard. Come on, you know me, you know my tortoiseshell fetish. Great guitar, great workhorse. If you're thinking about the Pacifica, then I think the step up in quality between like the 112s, which are about 200 or thereabouts, and these, which you can pick these up. I did for $299, I think it was, on Toman, shipped. That was to the door. then the step up in quality from the 112s to these, I think, is worth the extra cash. It plays slicker than a greasy weasel, and it's got a load of kind of vintage sounds on tap, and as you heard in that demo at the top of the video, it will do the shouty stuff when required as well. So yeah, fantastic workhorse guitar, pro quality instrument for 300 quid. You know, it's ridiculously good value, and I sold my last Pacifica. I ain't getting rid of this one. So there you go, folks. Those are my top 5 favourite guitars at the moment. I will, before we just, you know, kind of wrap things up for today, let me just put this down. I will just give a couple of honourable mentions. This is an offset guitar built for me by a viewer of the channel, a chap called Pete, and it's basically a parts caster, but he made the body himself. It's poplar with an ebony centre section, and just, you know, the kind of you know, good quality neck that you can buy on a certain well-known auction site, and plays beautifully, sounds just exactly like what you expect for, you know, a twin humbucker bolt neck guitar to sound like. It's got the fatness of the humbuckers, and it's got the you know, the kind of snappiness of a bolt on neck guitar. I really should use this one a bit more in some videos, so keep an eye out for it. So that's the first honourable mention, the Pete Nelson offset. Back in a sec. Yes, my Harley Benton CST 24. This is a guitar that's very, very special to me. It's a cheap PRS copy, but it's got so much sentimental value for me. This, back in, I think, 2018 or 2017, 2018, I got a letter from the Halifax Bank saying that they'd found some money in an account belonging to my mother, who died in 2008, like 10 years beforehand. And they've been trying to trace me, a next of kin, since all that time. And long story short, with that little bit of money, I trekked me and the wife to a little bit of a holiday, and I trekked myself to a guitar, and this is the guitar. So this is like a sort of a present from my mother. So this one's never going anywhere. I've upgraded it. It's got slightly better quality bridge, and once again the Vanson pickups, which I have a lot of time for. I don't tend to play this guitar much these days, basically because everything that this does, my signature guitar does just that little bit better. This is a good guitar, and it's got, as I say, a lot of sentimental value for me, but it's more a keepsake now than you know, a working instrument. Maybe I should get it out and kind of play it a little bit more often. Let me know what you think. So there you go, folks. There's a couple of honourable mentions: the Pete Nelson offset guitar and my Harley Benton, you know, courtesy of me dear old mum. And that was the my top 5 favourite guitars at the moment. You know what us guitarists are like. Ask us in a week or two's time, and it could all be different. And that is pretty much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little look at my instruments, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. Don't forget, as I said earlier, the live stream Friday 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk music and guitars. Fantastic way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.